after an early last week sell-off, we saw the DSY moving below 102,410 due to the two news that were released on Monday. The first one is Financial Service PMI, which came out lower than expectation, and the second one is ISM Service PMI, which comes out as expected. You understand? So we saw the DSY falling below 102,410 from Monday probably to Wednesday, and then on Thursday, when they released the number of the unemployment claims from the United States, and then we saw the number slowing back to 233k, which means that in the month of July, probably the number of people that filed for unemployment benefits are just 233k, slowing from the previous one, which is 250k, which means that we have the reduction in number of people that fight for unemployment benefit. And you know that this is good for an economy. And then that is when we now saw the US dollar rejecting this particular area, which it's also a support level, that is 102,410, and then stay below the resistance level, which is 103,671. So what are the next things to look out for in the US dollar? As you can see, if you check your economic calendar, you see that next week is the CPI. They are going to drop CPI next week, so let's see how it goes right there. But that CPI is very, very significant. Yeah, it is very, very important. So if we get an uptick or a downward move in the CPI report, this will have a very very high significant impact in the market. So we just have to look for watch out for the CPI news. But for me, what I'm expecting on the DSY is for price to probably break this resistance level, because this resistance level is not solid enough. The resistance as 103,671, and probably come here, and then you might see a rejection at this particular. This is a very, very solid resistance level. Probably we might see price coming back to 103,154. But at the first, probably maybe first 2 days, we might see the price moving back to this particular area. And then the CPI is expected to slow down. That is from 3.0 to 2.9. So if we see the let's say lower than expectation of the CPI, this will give the investor confidence that the Fed will cut rate in September. It will cut rate by 50 BPS. That is a 50 basis point in September. But if we see an uptick move, maybe probably above 30% level, then this one is the bad call, and then we might see the US dollar or the DSY continue. We're probably breaking this particular level to the upside. But what will actually be good for the market, because of the recession fear now, is for the inflation report to come out below expectation, and then we'll see the DSY moving probably below this area, because I'm of the opinion that if you check, let's check the 4-hour time frame together, you see that we have a larger sell-off than buy here. As you can see, I'm of the opinion that sellers are more than buyers at this particular area. So from this area, you see the pressure of the selling, pressure, another selling pressure with small buying, another selling pressure. So probably if you see price coming back to this particular area, and then the CPI comes out, let's say lower than expectation, you might see another sell-off here that might actually break 102,410. But for the first 2 days on Monday, probably we should still see the DSY uptick back to retest this resistance level, and if this level break, you see it back to this particular level, and then probably Wednesday, if we have the CPI coming lower than expectation, then we should see price breaking this level. And not only the US dollar has the economic activities next week, we have from the UK too. And then if you want to trade the likes of GBP, USD, then it should be probably more on Monday. You should be waiting to still sell GBP USD because we still have riots going on in the UK, and these riots can actually affect their economic activity, which will in turn affect their currency. So which means that probably we might see pounds selling off probably next week. And then if we now saw a big sell-off in the US, then GBP USD might not be suitable to sell next week. Probably maybe starting from Wednesday. You might want to shift your focus. If you want to actually short the GBP, you might actually want to shift your focus to other GBP pairs and leave GBP US dollar alone. And then on the euro side, we should see the euro US dollar to the downside. But before we actually analyze each of the currencies, my name is Ambafx. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I bring you the latest insights in the world of forex market, the technical, fundamental, and probably the sentimental analysis. So do it to subscribe, like, and share. And don't forget to drop any comment. Drop your opinion in the comment section about where you actually predict the pairs we analyze here to go. So we are here to learn from each other, not here to compete. So this channel is just for educational purpose, not a financial advice. So let's go to the economic activities of next week. So like I said, next week is a very busy week in the forex market. On Tuesday, we have the wage price index in the Australian, and then we have the climate count in the UK. And then Tuesday is very, very important. So we have PPI on Tuesday. So like you all see, it is expected to drop to 0.2, and this is what we expect to see in the PPI on Tuesday. And in the CPI on Wednesday, this is what we expect to see. Probably previous is 3%. We expect to see 3%. But as we all know, if you check the CPI chart, I can't show you now. Probably maybe next week I'll show you. It's expected to keep on the downward trajectory. And if you see the CPI chart is in downward trajectory, and if it's expected to keep on with the downward trajectory, it means that from 3.0 we might see 2.9 like I said earlier. So probably I'm expecting 2.9. that is the lower than expectation. So that's what I'm expecting. But anything uptick than 3.0 is very, very bad for US economy. And then probably Fed might not look into cut rate again, and you see the US dollar strength coming back to the market or continue right there, because we've already seen a bounce off the support level in the DXY. And then SND I expect to cut rate, but let's see if they still hold their interest rate at 5.50. That is from the RBNZ rate statement. So let's see, probably maybe if they will still maintain 5.50, but they expect to cut rate probably 25 basis points to 5.25. So let's see what they will come out on Wednesday. That is at 3 a.m. Nigerian time. And then what we still have here is AUD unemployment rate and then employment change. So probably let's see this one too will have a very, very significant effect on the AUD. For me, I believe AUD as in they should weak next week. And then we have GDP report from the pounds, that is from UK. And then on Thursday we have the retail sales from the United States. we have the unemployment claims too from the United States. So this previous, we have previous of 233k. So let's see, probably maybe we'll have uptick of 235. So if we have uptick of 235, that means the DSY will continue to what? If you have air, will continue to fall. You get, because it means that just a month, the number of people filing for unemployment benefit has increased from 233 to 235. So probably we should see the DSY coming down, and EU will likely bounce up from the low and then will continue to go up. So that's all we have in the economic activities, and we still have the retail sales from the pounds too on Friday. So let's see how it goes. But our major focus next week is on the CPI, is on the interest monetary policy from the New Zealand Bank, and then the last one is unemployment rate from the Australian dollar. So all this one, we still have the one from the pounds, which is GBP, is very, very important, is a high impact news which we should focus on. So let's go to the individual currency. I'm checking here is gold. As you can see, gold is maintaining its uptick behavior, and then it's going up, it's rally. So we can see the rally in gold. But for me, I still believe that gold should probably come and retest this trend line one more time before we see a move back to 2047, which might be due to Monday, which we might see the DSY moving up, continuing the upward trajectory, because we've seen a hammer candle close in the weekly time frame. So we might see the upward trajectory before price fall further, maybe probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. So this one, if you use a Fibonacci retracement, you see that we are in the 50% Fibonacci level, retracement level. So which we might probably see a slowdown in the movement on gold. Then probably at this we might see a move back to this high, which is at 2,473. And then if we didn't see that, if price stay above this area, then we should see price moving back to the 100% Fibonacci retracement level at 2,473. So next week I'll be looking for the first probably the 2-4-hour candle that will close around this particular area. If it's closed below, then I might join the sellers to drag price to sell price to sell back to this particular area, not drag actually. So I might join the seller, and then I will actually target this area as mine, probably before this area as my take profit zone. But if the price stay above this level, then probably will join the buyer. And for me, I'll be happy if price stay above this level, because the most accurate trade you can take is the one you take with the trend, not the one you take against the trend. So probably this is for our time frame, obviously. And then if we move to, let's say 15-minute time frame, probably we might see something around there. So which means that if price stay above this area, then I'll be willing to join the buyers, as you can see. So I'm even anticipating for price to stay above this area, so that I can join the buyers, and then understand this is where I'll be taking my profits first, and then the second one, which is at 2,474. This is a long way, you understand. So even if you have this in a week, you are even done for the week. Let's say you enter around somewhere and price push to this area, it should be done for the week, because if you enter with a good testing, with a good risk management and a risk to reward, you will be a massive reward. And then if probably per venture this level break, then I'll be looking for this level. Maybe probably after a retracement, I will join again and take my profit. But if I now see that price comes below this low, that's when I'll be joining the sellers to understand the price to that particular level. So that's that about AUD, about gold. So on pounds US dollar, I still believe that ABUSD should sell at the beginning of next week. Probably maybe on Monday we should see a sell off in GBP US dollar, because if you check this level, price bounced back at this level. We saw a rejection at this level, which you can see here, and then it's closed as a reversal candlestick in the 4-hour time frame, which means that on Monday, if I see that any candle closes below this area, I'll be willing to sell back to this low. If I see probably a rejection candle too, which means that a bearish candle, then I'll be waiting for sell back to this particular area where I will take in my profit, and waiting for the next line of action. Probably maybe this big demand level will be respected, or probably price will break it. So I'll be looking for what price will do at this particular level moving forward. But this is where I'll be taking my sell bias if I see that any candle closes below this particular area, which I'll be looking for a bearish candle to close below it, and then I'll be taking my sell bias. Probably my stop loss will be of this particular level. And then another thing that might happen, another scenario that might happen, is that for price to break this to the upside, and then you see sellers coming in at that particular area, which they might take people's stop loss out, and then they might come to that particular area and then understand, come and retest this particular demand level. So that's two scenarios I'll be waiting for, but I'll be waiting for a candle close here or candle close above to know. Maybe probably I'll be taking myself from this level or from this particular level. So I'm selling pounds US dollar next week, that's for the first week of next week, or do nothing, and then probably on Tuesday, if we now see that the CPI comes out lower than expectation, then you might see the GBP rally, and then you see a very long candle moving to the upside. And another thing I want you to observe here is that if you go to the weekly time frame, you will see something right here. See that price has been falling, and this kind of fall, if you observe this kind of fall very well, it is always preceded with a very long bullish candle that will clear out, like probably maybe 3 weeks or stuff like that. You understand? You might see this kind of bullish candle like this after you see this kind of, because if you check previously, just 2 weeks bullish candlestick cancel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of bearish. So this one to 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one, the 4 bearish candle, and 1 bullish candle might actually clear out like 3 weeks bearish candle like this. So that's what I'm actually looking for to happen next week. Probably if we now see the CPI coming out lower than expectation, then we should be expecting this to happen. So the next pair is pounds euro US dollar. As you can see, there's a decline from this particular top, which is a resistance level in the weekly time frame. So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, you see that we should have some sell at that particular area. For me, what I'm actually looking at is to short the euro USD from this particular area. Probably if it now break this level, so I'm selling back to this level. If this level break, I'll be willing to sell back to this level, where you might see the opposite effect coming back to that particular market at that area. But what I'm actually looking at is to sell probably maybe on Monday, and then if we now see that we have a lower than expectation CPI reports, we might be looking for a buy at this particular area that will break this particular high right here. So my bias is selling, and I'll only be interested to probably enter a long position if we have this level break. If this level break to the upside, that would, if we have this level of resistance of 1.09263 break, then I'll be willing to join the buyers back to this particular. But for now, my solid the bias is a sell bias. Probably this level break there, we should be looking for price to come back to that area. On AUD US dollar, my bias is to the downside for price to sell back to this particular area. So this is where I'll be able to take my profits next week. For the next week trade, this is where I will be willing to take my profit. So if price now break, because we see this area, a very strong resistance level which price might actually reject from, and price has rejected from there and close below. So which means that we might actually see price coming back to this particular support level of 0.65133. So you should be looking for this next week. And then for me to change my bias, price has to go back and break below 0.65800, this resistance level. So that's when I will be changing my bias to the buy bias. On the US dollar Japanese yen, I'm actually neutral, but these are the two levels I'll be looking for price to break. Is either price break this level or this level. So if price break this level to the downside, I'll be waiting towards to sell, and if price break this to the upside, I'll be joining the buyer. So that's what I'm actually looking at on US dollar JPY. On US dollar Canadian dollar, for me, I'll be waiting for this USD card to retrace back to this particular level. So we test these broken let's say broken support, because as this resistance break, we should see a retest, but the retest didn't come in here like that. Then we saw the price breaking that particular resistance, that particular support level, and obviously we might see it coming the new resistance and then a rejection back to the downside. So I'll be waiting for price to come and retest 1.37834 for me to take my sell position right there going into the next week. So that's what I'm actually waiting for on US dollar Canadian dollar next week. The next one is US dollar Canadian dollar Japanese yen, and as we all know, we don't think Japanese yen can actually maintain the high interest rate for a long time due to their economy, and Japan economy always support low interest rate, so that if there are a lot of money can be in circulation, you get. So but I don't know, if price break this level, we should see it coming back to this particular area, to this low of 101,693. And then if we have a break of 103,200, we should see price moving back to 111, which is the next resistance level we can see right there. So guys, it's remain like one pair to do, which is the AUD Canadian dollar, and we have the Australian dollar unemployment claim and then the employment report next week. So let's see how it goes, and if we have a negative report there, we should see AUD card moving to 0.89569, or if that level break, we should be waiting for 0.88550. And this kind of market are like, if we have a bearish market and then we have probably a retracement, so I'll be willing to enter a sell position at that particular retracement, especially the retracement that come high as this. You understand? So this is what I'll be waiting for. So which means that probably maybe any slice, probably retracement back to this high. So I'll be waiting for a sell bias, which means that we might see something like this happen in this market. Maybe something like this happening. You get, and then you see price breaking this because this trend line want to look sloppy somehow, and it's with the trend. And then if you are having an issue with this weak rejection candle, you can just use line charts to smoothen it, as you can see. So which means that we might see price coming back here, and then we see it breaking this to the downside, which our target is at 0.88550. We've used the line charts to smoothen the price at that particular area. So guys, this is my own view, my own analysis for the next week, and these are the pairs on my watch list that I'll be waiting to take next week. So if you are trading a Profem account on any this thing, you should not really, let me put it this way, you should not risk more than 1% of your account in a trade, like in a single trade. You should not and then you should have a maximum of 2% of your account running in a trade. Don't be too worried to pass an account. You understand what I mean? Because when you eventually take your time and pass it, you will enjoy the payout. You understand? So that is what I want to the advice I want to give you. And then we have the recommended broker in the description box. If you are trading a Profem, if you withdraw, try and separate some amount of money and put it in your broker. You understand what I mean? So when you put it in your broker, you'll be using that one as emergency fund. You understand, in case you have not withdrawn from your Profem. And then we have the recommended Profem too in the description box. And any question you have, I have Twitter link in the description box too. You can just copy the link and then message me on Twitter. Have a profitable trading week ahead.